After World War I, America sought to return to normalcy. People wanted international politics to become a thing of the past. Meanwhile, the nation's economy boomed louder than ever due to the funding of European nations during the war and led to an unprecedented cultural revolution. The 1920s was a decade of technological advances that immediately and profoundly influenced consumers. As laborers thrived in society, they found they had both more money and time. These new opportunities gave birth to a consumer-based society with products appealing to the new American family in labor-saving, leisure, and mass communication devices. Societal roles had undergone a dramatic transformation throughout World War I, especially for women. American women were working and volunteering, and women were unwilling to give up the new freedoms they had gained. Thus, they adopted the use of labor-saving goods, which allowed them to keep their positions while still maintaining their households. With inventions such as the vacuum and washing machine, most of the drudgery of housework was relieved to allow for their activities. The vacuum in the 1920s gave women much more freedom. The vacuum created a more practical alternative to cleaning floors compared to the practice of dragging a rug outside and beating it clean or sweeping. The vacuum was initially developed in the 19th century but didn't gain massive use until the 20s. Along with the vacuum, the washing machine permitted women to explore their own ventures. Normally, on wash day, the women of the family would gather all of their dirty clothes and forcibly clean them. This was extremely labor-intensive and time-consuming. But the new washing machines did that for the women, so they wouldn't have to worry. The machines would scrub out the dirt all on their own. The machines freed up a vast amount of time for the women. The new innovations were highly praised by most women, but some women, along with men, felt that women's job was in the home and was cleaning, and anything less was intruding on men's territory. Along with labor saving, inventions aimed at leisure time were equally remarkable. Post-war America was distinguished by its young men and women with greater appreciation for the leisure time they had. Popularity in music and broadcasting led to innovations such as the phonograph and television, and they became integral parts of the American home. The phonograph was invented by Thomas Edison in 1877, but didn't gain tremendous popularity until the 1920s after adjustments by Alexander Graham Bell. The phonograph, or graphophone, became easier to use and a more fashionable addition to the American household, with aid from the Jazz Revolution. As the tunes of jazz stole the spotlight in American music, listening to jazz recreationally became a popular venture, and the graphophone surged in popularity. In 1920, there were over 7 million phonographs in American homes to play the thousands upon thousands of records produced courtesy of the jazz boom. Breakthroughs in leisure devices also gave birth to a new realm of entertainment: public broadcasting. The television opened many venues for sharing ideas, news, and celebrations across the country and became an iconic symbol of American downtime. Enthusiasm for professional sports was increased as sporting events were aired, and national events such as parades and elections drew patriotism in every household. The television also paved the way in a spark of advertisement that captured the minds of workers and encouraged them to buy more and more. Coke, Band-Aids, a hair curler, and the latest floor model were all must-haves. The 1920s was also a beginning in a new era of communication, and the term mass media was coined. The new electronic communication allowed for electronic duplication of information for the first time. Although many forms of mass communication were invented during this period, the most popular was the radio. In 1919, the Radio Corporation of America was formed, and they soon began mass-producing commercial radios. The first commercial broadcast of a commercial radio station was on November 2, 1920, by the Westinghouse Corporation's KDKA regarding the Harding-Cox presidential election, and subsequently kicked off the radio boom. Radios became part of culture worldwide because it provided news and entertainment, and during the radio boom, many families bought radios. Soon, universities offered radio-based courses, churches began broadcasting their services, and newspapers created tie-ins with radio broadcasts. The radio was popular because it would invoke a listener's imagination, comfort, and fascination. The most popular device for personal communication was the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell won the first U.S. patent for this device in the 19th century. Telephone communication would soon dominate the next century, and by 1924, more than 15 million telephones were in use by the entire Bell system. The telephone made person-to-person communication significantly more convenient. People predicted that the telephone would transform society for the better by furthering democracy and building communities. However, privacy became a major concern because it increased opportunities for people to be overheard or wiretapped, but that didn't stop people from investing in the new technology. The Roaring Twenties was an age of remarkable revolutions in American society. Although the glamour of the 20s would later be exposed as a mere gloss over economic despair, the inventions of the time bred a consumer-based America. Labor-saving appliances made home upkeep much more obtainable, devices created for leisure soon transformed every American household, and both the telephone and radio gave rise to a new period of mass communication. These inventions contributed to technologies that would completely transform society in the next century. The telephone would evolve into cell phones, leisure devices became more complex, and the emphasis would shift from time saving to money and energy saving. From toasters to televisions, the inventions of the Roaring Twenties beckoned Americans to create devices and distinguish the modern-day American market from its competitors. They brought new comfort and personalizing to the American home, and it is through these wonderful inventions that modern America rose.